art video. So this is the first time I filmed an art tutorial. I've never filmed an art tutorial. I have no idea how to teach you guys how to do art. Like, I'm just now starting to figure out how to teach you guys makeup, but I'm still learning how to teach you guys art. So this is my very first art tutorial that I'm doing in watercolor, because that is the medium that I'm most familiar with. I am originally a watercolor artist, and then I've been doing digital art for the last 2 years now, and I still feel relatively new to it. So I made an art tutorial to show you guys how, like, some of the behind the scenes of my banana mermaid girl. So basically, a couple of years ago, I created this collection of fruit themed mermaids. I made a strawberry, a kiwi, a watermelon, a dragon fruit, and then just like a couple of days ago, I painted a banana girl. So before I get into painting my main subject, I like to do studies. So I did studies of faces, studies of body swimming, and studies of the fruit that I'm going to be capturing, because I want to be able to take elements from the skin and elements from when you cut on the inside onto the skin of the person that I'm painting, make it into a fish body human person, and go from there. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm going to be pulling up the clip here somewhere, and then I'm just going to do like a voiceover walking you guys through the process. First, I drew the banana before I even like show you guys me painting it, and I'm using different shades of yellow. I'm using a bright yellow with a light yellow, similar to how I show you guys how I do my makeup. And I'm going in the middle with a clean brush to mark the curve that bananas have, like that natural little crease that they have. And then in the middle, I'm using different shades of brown for a shadow. At the top, I'm adding a lime green, because you know how bananas turn from green to yellow. I wanted to highlight some of that fading ripeness process. And I'm using wet on wet. I usually prefer to do wet on dry, but I was kind of rushing through this tutorial, not gonna lie. It took me about an hour. I'm usually a lot more patient when it comes to my work, but I just wanted to, I'm not used to doing tutorials, so I feel like I paint differently when I know that I'm being watched. And now that the base layer has dried, I'm adding in the freckles. I use a brown base for the top and the bottom, and then I added some brown little dots. I added some of the freckles in when the yellow paint was still wet, so I can get that spreaded effect. And now I'm adding like different types of freckles, some close, some far, some light, some dark. I use a brown shade similar to my skin tone and a deep dark brown to really get in those freckles. I really love a nice freckly banana. I think they're so cute. And now that the paint has dried, you can see the highlight from where I put in that initial highlight that I kept reinforcing throughout this video. And you know, I'm just adding all the finishing touches. I'm really loving the way that this banana looks compared to the first banana I painted look, and it's making me want to go back and like repaint my banana girl with this technique. But this is how it looks. Like, it's really coming together. I feel like it's really nice and vibrant. Watercolor is a transparent medium. It's kind of like if I were to paint different levels of stained glass and smash it together, but in paint form. That's what you're seeing. And I'm just reinforcing that green at the top, showing that ripeness. I added some of the green to the top and let it fade in. And I'm reinforcing the dots at the top and at the bottom. Here is how it looks, a finished piece. Let me know if you guys want any more tutorials.